Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And this time I'm going to review um, another character from Evangelion, and this is Rei Ayanami. And this is again right now it's kind of like already like a vintage figure that was released by Medicom Toys back in 2006, and uh, I've had this also for a while. I bought this shortly after I got the Asuka Langley figure. And again, because of its age, it shows like the yellowing here on the display. Um, and Again, this was like the first release of the toy. The box is fairly identical to the Asuka one, which is you just see like the figure out in front, and then you get like an opening, um, flap of the box flap, and then you have another photo of the toy. But essentially, just gives you some dimensions of what type of body that they've used. What's the height of the figure, total height, um, and now that I think about it, because like you know in terms of scale, I'm not sure if this is like cartoon accurate scale. Maybe they're generally taller, I guess, than say if you have them side by side with like another anime figure. But I've never compared, but it seems though that it's kind of like it. Actually, just for measurement sake, let me see. Yeah, I guess so, because this is already kind of like 11 inches tall, and usually in the anime, like since they're teenagers essentially, you'd expect them to be like on a shorter scale. If you have them side by side with like another character that might be a little bit like taller. And again, same with the Asuka figure. Ray Ray's sort of like bodysuit is almost identical, except of course with this detail here. She has kind of like a rib um, guard, and also sort of like she has a different sort of like breastplate compared to Asuka, but also the same kind of like shoulder guard or spaldron. Um, yeah, and the coloring, because she's just wearing like plain white with a little bit of blue. It held up, I guess. For an action figure of almost like 20 years, that's not so bad. Again, similar to the Asuka body, it has the the knee plate. The thing about this too is that the suit sort of like degrades. Like you can see, the moment that you stretch this, right, there's nothing, and then when you stretch it, all like the lines you'd see because of the suit. This is kind of like a latex rubberized suit that they use, and it's apparent from both sides, from both figures. When you bend it, this one has some degradation on it. Like you can already see it. Some of it eventually will chip off, just because of the age of it. Like you could see that in her elbow joints as well. That's fairly present with especially with the early Medicom stuff. I think I've seen some reviews of like the Spawn figure having the same issue with the rubber body that they used, and also with the cape. It tends to flake out eventually in time, and like I said, it's eventually all our toys, most of our toys, it will degrade, right? And just kind of have to enjoy them while you can. And this one, like I said, this is like the first version, and I know there's been like re-releases of this figure, especially with the new Evangelion, the sort of like the rebirth release, or the redo. Sorry, they've come out with figures, which I think is like the better quality. I don't know precisely what the material is, but I have one that's the Mari one, and it seems like the better sort of like material. But I guess because this is like the OG um, release, I snagged it up back in the day. I'm a huge fan of Evangelion, and I've just never purchased like the upgrades. I've just stuck with whatever that I have. Like it's kind of like a rule that I have with action figures. I usually, if I have like a version of one, I'm fine with that. And if I get like another version of it, either I got into it like very cheap, or like sometimes it'll be like gifted to me, or something like that. But I end up usually selling the other version. But essentially, you know, nicely anime accurate face, you know, and I like this detail of like the backpack. And I guess with these figures, now that I think about it, there's just no way for you to customize, because essentially you'd be destroying the bodysuit in order for you to uh, say if you want to swap her out in a uniform, or something like that, a school uniform or something. You'll have to destroy because there's just no way to sort of disassemble this without it affecting anything else. And I guess that's the limitation of it. But then again, this is like for more or less for an adult collector, and I don't think I think there are versions. That's why they released other versions of it where she might be like in another dress or a uniform or anything like that, precisely because these are not just meant to be customable. Um, but anyway, that's it. Like with Medicom again, you get like extra pair of hands, which I don't think I ever bothered to switch out, just because it's Rei, and I don't know how else to pose her. But anyway, I think that's it in terms of like the detailing and articulation. Um, like I said, for a 20-year-old figure, is not so bad. You get all these articulation and detail, and a very anime accurate head, right? And I think for me that's like the selling point of these Medicom figures, is that you get as much accuracy that you get from the anime stuff, and this is as faithful as it comes. So with that, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again next time.